Hello and welcome to the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando, live at 8 o'clock every Monday night. I am here with Luis Carlos Pineda. I am John Rollins, and we're going to talk everything Orlando Pride. Luis, we are still in the long break before the next Pride game. There has been a lot of international activity for our players, so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But before that, how are you, my friend?
Oh, we're doing. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking, John. Well, thank you for everybody that's joining live. Yeah, we're still on a little break. We wish we could have, had some matches happening. I know that some of the players went to Disney World, to the Tower of Terror,
Yeah. Shout
right?
out to Mac. I like that the hair toss at the top of the Tower of Terror. That
Shout,
was
shout,
cool.
shout out to Communications. I honestly, I'm scared of heights, guys. Um, so
You're
Tower of
not gonna
Terror
go
for
on?
me.
I mean, you're not gonna find me on that,
I
I'll
mean,
tell
I've
you.
been there before, trying to
I'm
trying to
a
act
I'm
tough
a wimp when
for.
it comes to roller coasters, man. I'm in the
Yeah, you
I'm
love it.
Orlando is wasted on me. I can't do the roller coasters.
You can't. Yeah,
No.
I
I'm a big
can't.
old wimp. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't either. Like I one time at Universal, they took me when the Mummy first opened. Friends from school, they're like, "Hey, it's just a normal ride. It's like Terminator." I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I go in, jump in, and I start looking. Why are they buckling me? Yo, that thing went backwards. I started freaking out. It was bad. And so I haven't gone through. Oh, and then when you're dating and you're trying to act tough in front of your date, and your date loves roller coasters, and then you're trying to you know put up with your fear. It has happened to me that I had to do that a couple of times. I had to do that a couple of times, but then other than that, no roller coasters for me. But either way, congrats to the players. They're having a good time. But Zambia is doing great too. Barbara Banda is scoring goals. Kundajandi as well. Also, Copa America started already too. Marta and Angelina on some action. So today we're going to be discussing all about the Banda, Grace, and Priska performances with Zambia, Angelina Marta with Brazil, and NWSL transfer news. Uh, John, you want to talk about a little bit about Zambia and Barbara Banda?
Yes, indeed. Alrighty. So of course, Zambia are in the African Cup of Nations. They have managed to get some good results. Last time we talked, they had got a draw against Morocco, and now they are top of the table. They're now level with Morocco at the top of the table, having beat Senegal and the Congo in their last two games. The game against Senegal, Banda got two goals, so she got a brace in this game, and Kundanaji got a goal as well. They won 3-2 versus Senegal, and Dai was the one from Senegal who got two goals back. So, a very good performance. It was not the easiest game for them. I think this was a tough fought win, but once again, Barbara Banda just really shining and scoring some great goals, Luis.
Yeah, I mean, Barbara Banda is somebody that's dominating Africa right now. She's already scored the fastest goal in the tournament. Um, she's been doing so well exploiting those early gaps with the pride. And she's doing the same thing with. It's scary that you have Kunda Jandi and you have two top level strikers in the NWSL playing for one team. You know, they have some defensive frailties, in my opinion. I feel like that's one thing that they gotta get better at. There was a late equalizer that cost Zambia the win against Morocco. Um, and again, I think it's important for them to be on the top of the group. And I think the next game that they're going to have, it is truly a test for them. I think this is going to be a team that's going to be very, very tough. A team they have already beaten, which is Nigeria. They're going to
Yeah,
be facing the
in the
Super Falcons, as
quarterfinals.
yeah, Super Falcons, yeah. And last time they faced each other, they beat them 1-0. And so Nigeria is looking out for blood, man. They're trying to get back at them, and both teams are pretty good. So
Yeah. I think Zambia are rated as one of the top teams to win this tournament. I would expect them to get to the final, based on the fact that they have Banda and Kunjananji alone, two of the best African players in the world. Chilufya did start in this game versus
Senegal
Senegal, as well as Grace, but then as we played the next game against the Congo, you can see the lineup changes here. Uh, Grace and Priska both dropped from the lineup. Chipasula came in, and I think Grace might have been injured, from what I can gather. I don't
again.
confirm that entirely, but it
Oh,
seemed like there might have been something. Um, Whereas I think Priska was sadly dropped. It seems because of form, but I thought she played really well in the Senegal game, and there was quite a few Zambians online that were agreeing with me, and were kind of like, "Why did you drop Priska?" But Chip Lucia, I'm probably butchering this name here, is a highly rated player, so I think there was some excitement around her getting in the starting lineup. And in this game, Luis, it was a very clever free kick scored by Zambia, where Barbara Banda was standing in front of it, looking like she was going to take it, and then she kind of ran out of the way and let Rachel Kundaranji take the shot. So I actually have that if you want me to show you that in a second. Anything else you want to talk about with these games for
yeah,
Zambia?
yeah. So when it came to kind of the info that you were given, so I have it right here. I have them on my notes
Yeah, please
actually.
update us.
So when it comes to Grace, um, it says, yeah, right here. So it says Chanda has been, yeah, she participated in the against Morocco, yeah, and played Zambia first two matches. So she was suspended against the game against uh Democratic Republic of Congo.
My apology. It was suspension, not injury. That
Due to two yellow cards. Yeah, so it's not an injury, of my
my
understanding.
my error. I remember saying something about her not being able to
Yeah,
participate. That is
yeah.
my
So
bad.
yeah, so now I'm glad to hear that because it would have sucked if it would have been another injury because she came from a ruptured quadricep tendon, which is one of the toughest tendons in the whole entire body. So, um, coming out of SCI was just tough in itself in a different country that's not yours. I couldn't imagine how she would have felt. So I'm just glad to see that she's maybe getting some minutes. Hopefully, she keeps getting minutes, and we get to see Chanda now. Chalufia on the game that she started, she was close to score, but unfortunately, again, it's just not she's not capitalizing on the chances. But it was cool to see all the all the Pride Zambians in one team. I thought that was pretty good. Now, I feel though Chalufia by watching the highlights in the game I feel Chalufi is better coming off the bench. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's still not, the most finished product. She's still very raw, but she has the size and the pace, and she runs at players. And I think that she's just getting up to speed a lot of the time. And her adjustment with Orlando Pride hasn't been as fast as we would have liked, but I'm not losing faith in the player that she can become. And it seems to me that both, really all of them, I think Barbara looks so hungry when she plays for Zambia, but so does Grace, and so does Priska. I think that the pride and the importance for them playing for their nation really shows. I got the goal here, Luis, that Rachel Kundananji scored
There
off
you
of the
go.
free kick. So you can see Barbara gets fouled.
Through she goes, Banda,
Oh,
trying to get past two, clattered, brought down, free kick to Zambia. And just as ever, she gets it, and she's so direct, straight for goal. Of those this past week alone. Banda stands over it, leaves it, striker goal from Kundananji,
oh, what a
who
goal!
opens the scoring for Zambia.
That was bad goalkeeping too. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
as a clever little move, Banda runs in front of the ball. Like I think it's like almost like blocking the view. She runs like directly at the keeper. She can't see, and then Rachel just slots it into the bottom corner. So yeah, a very cheeky goal for them to win this and go through to the quarterfinals. So congratulations to all three of the Zambians. Great success that they're through this round and on to the next. I mean, we expected it, but after that draw to Morocco, I was a little concerned.
Zambia, they've done it again.
Of all sad words says tower isn't scary. Little kids ride it daily. Well, I'm a pansy. I'll be
It's
honest with you.
it's it's my stomach, man. My stomach goes into my
Yeah,
eyes. Like that's
like
what this for me.
the whole dark and just thinking that you're dropping off an elevator and then you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
I like, I'm like, I go to Atlantis and I'm like, oh, this is very high. Like I'm pathetic. So Tower of Terror, no way.
Of all sad words, I used to be a ride operator at King Ka at Six Flags in New Jersey. We ride it at opening every day for testing. 120 miles per hour launch straight up 400 plus feet. Well, that's a great breakfast. I'm sure after that, your breakfast, the breakfast of champions. I can do that. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So
So
hopefully, I think it's gonna be the game. I'm actually trying to see if I'm able to kind of watch it on my tablet, stream it. I find like a website or something I can watch it at.
yeah, it's on beIN
Oh,
Sports.
it's a beIN Sports. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. My dad has access to
So
that,
if
so
anyone has beIN Sports, you can
I'll
watch
probably
these.
I'll probably borrow his credentials to see.
Yes, but of course, all the highlights are on YouTube as well. beIN Sports puts them up on YouTube.
Now, one
So
thing I would love to see is, and it would be cool to see at some point. It's like a World Cup, like a club World Cup for women, like for the whole entire like Africa, and also I would love to see like the champion of Copa America against the champion of CONCACAF, champion of AFCON, and just kind of play like a little six six team, 8 team tournament. I think that'd be fantastic. I think it'd be cool, like a confederation club, like a confederation cup or something like that.
that
But
would be nice.
yeah, that game is going to be that game in my opinion. I think it's going to be an even Stevens game. I mean, even though I do feel Zambia has a little bit of an upper hand because of Banda, she's the best striker in the world. I just I just think that it's going to be a really good test for Zambia.
Yeah, I mean it's Nigeria. They've got some good players. They've got a lot of size. They've got a lot of big, strong players. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be the biggest test. But I think with Barbara and Rachel, like they can beat anybody. If both of those are performing how they have been, I think they can win this whole thing. With the level of performances you're getting out of those two players. So a tough game against Nigeria coming up, but definitely a winnable game.
They need to sell the Zambian jerseys. I would love to have a Zambia jersey. You should have one too,
A
John.
copper jersey.
Yeah,
That
they're
would be
really
cool.
nice.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that is everything that's happening with Zambia. So Friday at noon, you can watch them take on Nigeria in the club. Sorry, I was going to say Club World Cup. Then in
Club
the
World.
African Women's African Cup of Nations. That's going to be the quarterfinals. So if they go on from there, semis, and then the final, hopefully. But there's plenty of time for them. Like it's not other times with tournaments, Luis, the longer they're at the tournament, the less time they be at their club. But at the moment, they can do the whole tournament and they're not going to miss any games. So hopeful that all three of the Zambians can make it to the final. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. I want to see Priska score. Priska, score a goal, Priska, so you can
Yeah,
come back to the Pride fully
yeah.
motivated to keep scoring.
Priska's. I know you're a little disappointed with her since
Yeah,
she came
man,
in,
I'm a little
Luis, but she
heartbroken.
she is. Don't lose faith. I
I won't
think
lose faith in
Priska's.
Priska, man.
It's just a matter. I think she's one of these players that just needs a year to settle in, and then you're gonna really see what she can bring.
For sure. Of all side words says a women's world club World Cup is supposed to, man, that'd be fantastic. I will love to see that for sure.
Alrighty, shall we move on and talk about the Copa America?
Sure. Yeah, we have Copa America, when it comes to Brazil, Copa America Femenina is ongoing in Ecuador. 10 teams competing for the title. Obviously, Brazil's a traditional powerhouse, strong squad, 11 NWSL players, including Orlando Pride's Marta and Angelina. So, right now, as you guys can know, and be honest with you, I think Brazil, it's expected to win the whole tournament. Um, I think there's maybe another team that is doing really good, which is Paraguay and more than likely Colombia. I think those three teams are probably right now the ones that are above the rest. Um, and Marta is just, she's the goat, man. She's the eight. How do they call it in down south? The ageless wonder. There you go. Ageless wonder, Marta. Ageless wonder. So she's the ageless wonder, 6-time FIFA World Player of the Year. Which she had a really insightful interview with, I believe, Attacking Third, and she said that she will love to be a mommy. That if,
Yeah,
yeah, that
I
if,
have that actually.
yeah, that if, yeah, that if, yeah, because they were asking for a 2027 World Cup, right? And she's like, well, if I become a mom, that takes a back seat, So I would say Angelina needs to step up a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like she's the next Marta in a way.
So Marta saying in this interview here with Globo Esport,
Sporte.
come on, Luis, help me out. Espectacular.
Yeah, that's right.
Yay. She said, I don't know whether I'll still be playing in 2027 or whether I'll be fit. It's too early to say that I'm going to play. I still have a strong desire to be a mother, so I might wake up one day and decide to call my doctor to see if it's still possible. If it is, then bye, I have to go. So I think, like we've known for a long time, Luis, like she signed the 2 more years with us, and she's always like, am I going to play more with Brazil? At any point, Marta could just say, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm gonna retire and go live my life with Carrie, and nobody would hold that against her. So I don't know if this is necessarily amazing news or just something that we've always known. And then anytime Marta says anything, it becomes news. But she, would be well within her rights to retire and become a mother whenever she chooses.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's the ageless wonder, and she started against Venezuela, which is a team that you'll love a lot too, John. And she definitely started against Venezuela, and in Brazil defeated Venezuela. You know, they really didn't. It really wasn't a high margin game, but I think it ended 1-0. I have the game. I have the goal of Brazil. If you want to watch it real quick.
Yeah, it was 2-0. Yeah,
Oh, 2-0.
overall,
Sorry about
yeah.
that. Yeah,
But also, you're right. Like Brazil, like
yeah,
Venezuela, surprisingly had some good opportunities. They almost scored a goal, like a couple chances, and I think maybe Brazil, you know, obviously a powerhouse of this league, didn't really look very good against a team that they should really be beating convincingly.
for sure. Let's look at the goal right here. The first one. Number one, that backline is they couldn't even that's
Yeah, I mean, this was
yeah.
like they're all way off, and then I mean the lack of ability to get the ball here is amazing.
Tem Amanda Gutierrez no meio, passe para ela! Gol! É do Brasil!
Brazil, Brazil, Brazil.
É gol da artilheira do Brasileirão!
No, I do want to say something. I think CONMEBOL should have done a little better on promoting this tournament. You know, I think they could have done a little better job. You know, a lot of empty stands. I heard from colleagues that are in Ecuador right now that they're they're giving away tickets like radio, like it's just not, you know what I mean? So guys, if you're gonna definitely like promote it, like go and promote. Like, and in order to promote, it's not gonna be free. You're gonna have to invest. You know, get a famous rapper, get a somebody that it's an influencer. You know, and there are many of them on in South America, tons of them. So I just feel bad that these squads that come stacked with really good players like Paraguay, like Argentina, like Brazil, like Colombia, come and play in like stadiums not even 500 people. To me, it's a disgrace.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't seem particularly well advertised. I think the Euros, and you look at the
Yeah.
women's Euros, which we're going to talk about in a bit. I think there's a lot of hype around that. Maybe that comes with the fact that there's just a lot of quality in the European nations and the teams in there, but like South America, there's Brazil and Argentina, and then it's like a bigger drop off, if you know what I mean. I think there's more sellable names in the Euros, but also like you're right, you gotta promote it. You know, there's still a lot of talent in the Copa America. A lot of people want to see these athletes play, and we're just not really, I mean, maybe it's just up here, but you're right. I mean, the numbers of attendance, if you compare the two competitions, the Euros are doing much better.
So Wednesday, so tomorrow, Uruguay and Argentina. It's gonna be playing at 5 p.m. Also Peru. I'm gonna cry, man.
You're Peru, man. I saw the
Bro.
ref of the Brazil game versus Venezuela was an ex-Peruvian female player.
I'm telling you, I am so sad, man. Like I don't know why they made him play this tournament. I told them, can they say like they're not gonna participate?
Just
I don't
get
know
a.
why. I don't know why they're playing
Are
this.
they getting beat up?
They're gonna get murdered. Peru's playing against Ecuador at 8 p.m. Tomorrow. They're probably gonna lose again. And then July 16th, on Wednesday, Bolivia Brazil at 5. Just to tell you, Brazil should win by more than 2 goals. And Venezuela against Colombia, which is like a classico type of thing, at 8 o'clock as a headliner. So yeah, those are the games that are coming up for Copa America Femenina.
Yeah, I mean Angelina and Marta both played in that last game, and I presume they'll play again. You know, Marta in the 10, Angelina in D mid. There wasn't anything particularly special they did in
Yep.
that game. Honestly, what I saw, it was pretty standard performance from them. But hopefully, we're going to see some moments where the two of them shine.
Let's see. Comment real quick before we go to the Euros. Of all sad words, it's the fact that everyone's favorite Instagram players play for teams in the Euros. True that. Alicia Lemon from Switzerland. That's from Juventus. You know, plays in Swiss. I remember that one.
Yeah.
Also, Anna Morehouse, the
Well,
Lionesses.
not really. The Lionesses are doing well, but Anna's not, been on the field, nor do we expect her to. After that 2-1 loss to France, they have come back strong with a 4-0 over the Netherlands, and then an absolute crushing of Wales, 6-1. It was, a great return, but that's still not enough to get them out of the top of the group. They will end in second. Sweden and Germany going through, Spain and Italy, Norway and Switzerland. So nothing too surprising. I think maybe Finland would be upset. Maybe Portugal, Belgium, not really though. Italy. I think a lot of the expected dominant Euro teams have pretty much performed as expected. They're going to go through. It's going to get into these later stages, and it's going to be some exciting games. Hopefully, between the likes of Spain and Germany, or England and France again, etc. These European powerhouses. And yeah, it's the only player obviously we have that's out there is Anna, and she's sitting on the bench for England. So I advise people to check out the Euros and watch if you're into more women's sports, because there's a lot of good quality players out there. Katoto for France is one. I can never say her name, but the brilliant player for Real Madrid who's French as well. I mean, there's so many good talents. Pateas and all the you've got like Mead on the English side. So many. I mean, I could be here all day, but there's a lot of exciting female players in the Euro. So as it gets to the later stages, I would advise people to check it out if there's a game on. Most of these are on regular TV that you can see them.
No, that's right. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting to. I look forward to see the Euros. Hopefully, Anna gets to start. One of these games.
Yeah, there's games on Fox, and then they're like on other things like Fubo and things as well. So England Sweden is going to be the quarterfinal for Anna and Co. So I imagine they're going to go through in that game. I'd be shocked if they don't.
Sweden, they have great meatballs there. Have you
I,
had Swedish meatballs?
I mean, really, the matchup of the whole
Oh
quarterfinal,
yeah,
France Germany.
100%.
This is, I don't know why France are ranked 10th in the world by FIFA, because their team is insanely good, and the Germans have won the Euros so many times. So
Yeah,
this is an epic battle in,
it's a
in the
really good.
quarters.
It's a
Yeah.
good. It's a really good match, for sure. I think that's the headliner. Um, yeah, I mean, both national teams with. I'm just impressed by France because men and women, they're a stacked team.
Proof that
You
the
know,
club system works, Luis.
yeah, by from the land of croissants and ratatouille.
All
Here
you
you
need
go.
is fresh bread and a youth club that doesn't charge you $5,000 to play at the U18 level. Who knew?
From the land of the raclette. I've been in Winter Park. There's a lot of really good French restaurants in Winter Park. And one time I went with a couple of friends, and then this lovely French server comes up to me and is like, "Sir," he's like, "Yeah, have you ever tried raclette?" And I said, "Never had raclette,"
Very good.
and it's so good. I thought it was delicious.
I
So
mean, it's melted cheese, so it's not to like.
yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be fun. You know, the Euros, man, interesting.
Yes, indeed. Alrighty. Our final topic. There's been some NWSL transfers, some moves happening. Latest, Mia Official joins Seattle Reign from Chelsea.
That's a really good. That's
That's
a
a
really
big
good signing.
signing. Yep. Evelyn Shores has joined Angel City. There's a lot of information about players being recalled, players being signed. A lot of Boston Legacy have signed a player, and the new team that's going to be in here next year. Of course, we talked about the fact that we've loaned a whole bunch of players out. One piece of information, Luis, I did find. This is a really interesting website, by the way, that kind of tracks everything. Here, for example, Tobin Heath retired, et cetera, et cetera. Here we can see our loans. If I come down here, on July 1st, 2025, I don't think this was announced by the club, but it must have been put out somewhere as public information that we have declined the option for Morgan Cottrell for 2026.
Oh wow.
I
We
don't think it's something the club necessarily wants to always announce, when it's like announce the good news. Maybe, not always say, hey, by the way, we're not renewing this player. I don't think that's really a press release I would want to send either. But it does seem that we have decided not to trigger Morgan's option for next year.
Wow. So after this year, that's it. So it's time for players to step up because Morgan, whether you like it or not, Morgan has been very important when it comes to being that defensive midfielder next to Haley McCutcheon. Yes, there's been a couple of inconsistencies here and there, but so you feel like maybe her lack of play, it's been because of that?
I don't know. Maybe she's just like ready to move on, and do something else. And I can't remember how old she is. I want to say she's like 32, right?
She's still very young.
Yeah, I mean, she could play. Maybe she wants to go play
Be a
somewhere
mom.
else. We don't know. Maybe we just said, hey, we're gonna make space for Ali Limos. I think she's been decent this year, but I'm not. I
It's
don't
not
think
like last year.
no, and I don't. I think we have a lot of good midfielders, and if you've renewed the likes of Viv and other players that can play in those positions that we have, like Morgan is a good rotation option. She's a good squad player, but I don't think she needs to be starting every game. So we can definitely give those opportunities to other players.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There hasn't really been a lot of NWSL big signings. I don't know if it's because the Euros is going on and like the Copa America, and there's just sort of this, time of like, okay, the signings are going to happen after. Like often that happens with the major tournaments in the summer. A lot of the moves occur kind of at the end of that tournament. So, but I'm not seeing a huge influx. I was expecting some of these, European players that become available in the off season, some free transfers, even transfers for money. This is usually in the summer when you see some of these players moving over to NWSL. There haven't really been a lot. We talked about Fischel. It's not been, what I was expecting, Louise. I think we're going to see some more news, hopefully, about new players and some moves between Europe and USA.
Yeah, for sure. So I do have just kind of some side note news about
Please.
the USL Super League. Tampa Bay, the champions, Tampa Bay Sun, have signed Swiss international Sandrine Moron. Uh,
Mauron.
Mauron, yeah,
Like Sauron, but
like
Mauron.
Sauron, yeah, like yeah. So she's played in Eintracht Frankfurt in 2019 to 2022. She played the UEFA Champions League. Then she played in France, scored 9 goals. She comes from Servette. No, it's from Switzerland. Never mind, it's not from France. Servette Chenois in Switzerland. She's like top division, top tier in Switzerland. 49 games, 9 goals. She's played 43 caps with the Swiss team since 2018. So, yeah, it's a pretty good signing. Now, obviously, a lot of the NWSL, it's been fueling the league right now. Um, a lot of the players from even the Tampa Bay Sun have decided to go to college. Some of them have been, are going to be playing in several universities, and probably we'll be seeing them soon in the NWSL in the next draft. It will be incredible and crazy to think about that. And but also the NWSL, like teams like Orlando, like Seattle, um, have been loaning players to the USL Super League and also signing players from the USL Super League into the NWSL. So there's been a lot of reciprocity between both leagues, which is eventually what you want because don't be like the MLS downplaying the USL. Don't do that. I like the fact that the NWSL is more open minded when it comes to really put forth the sport first and the cash grab a little bit second. I love that mentality of the league. I think it's thinking outside the box for the betterment of the sport, and good for them, you know. So, but other than that, that's all the news I got so far.
Yeah, I think that's everything on our show for this week, Louise. Short and sweet, just keeping up with that international news and any transfers as we go through this period without some Pride games. But excited to see some more Pride games. If you need to interact with the club or you want to do something around Orlando Pride, like we talked about last episode, the summer break is ongoing with all these activities, different things happening. They had I think Zara and can't remember the other player that out at the pub the other nights for an event there, Pints with Pride. So things are happening. And if you want to get your Orlando Pride kick, you can still go engage with the community.
For sure. Check us out on Loud and Proud Orlando. We are available on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook as Loud and Proud Orlando at LP_podcast. We're also on Spotify and Apple Podcast on video and audio form. So make sure if you like the what you hear or what you see, subscribe to the channel, drop us a thumbs up or drop us a comment. I will reach you on the next episode, and we'll be back next week, right, John?
Yep, we'll be
With
back
more.
next week with more updates on Zambia and Brazil and everything else Orlando Pride.
That's right. We'll see you guys. Thank you again, and Vamos Pride. Have a good one, guys. Appreciate
Vamos
you.
Pride!